Shalom. It's your brother Joshua back with another quick coffee break and a quick exhortation for the brothers and sisters in the truth, right? And this is just a quick exhortation on going out and teaching the word, right? This video is mainly for the brothers that desire the office of a teacher that want to go to people, right? So, it's a lot of brothers that, want to do the work and, they sit at home and watch the videos of brothers out on the highways and byways and teaching, and they desire to go out and teach, but a lot of brothers are afraid. A lot of brothers, have certain anxieties of going out speaking in front of people, or just, don't have much courage to go out and be in front of the people to engage the people and things of that nature, right? But, understanding this word and receiving the knowledge from the Lord, it's required for you to do such things. Now, everybody's not going to be a teacher, right? But, this is just some encouragement for brothers that desire to have that office but don't have much courage to do so, right? Want to kind of build up brothers' courage and be able to go out and step out outside of your comfort zone and do such things and what is required of it, how you should carry yourself, things of that nature. But, right, the main message and the focus is, right, Salakia, to not be afraid to go out and teach your people. This is a must that you should do this, because you never know, you could be, being called by the Most High to do so, right? That's why you have those feelings of wanting to, go out and do these things. The Lord could be calling you to teach. Then again, everybody's not going to be a teacher, but if you have these urges and these unctions, these things that, is compelling your spirit to do so, don't be afraid, right? You can't be afraid to go out and teach the people and engage the people. You have to shed the light to your people, especially if you have some type of knowledge. It don't matter if you can, break down prophecy or dark sayings, or you can just go into, Deuteronomy 28. Go out and teach these things to the people, right? It's a must, right? Let me get a precept real quick. Let's go to the book of Exodus, chapter 4, and I'm going to start at verse number 10. This is the beginning when Moses was called by the Lord to go talk to Pharaoh to get the people out of captivity, right? And Moses had that same problem. Moses was like, look, Lord, who am I, first of all, to go out and be speaking to anybody and telling them to do anything, right? And plus, he had insecurities, man, with speech and all these things, right? So let's read a little bit on it. This is the book of Exodus chapter 4, and I'm going to start at verse 10. It says, and Moses said unto Yahweh, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither heretofore, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow to speech. I'm slow of speech and of a slow tongue, right? So he had an insecurity, man. He had a little speech impediment, right, or whatnot. And he says, and the Lord said unto him, who had made man's mouth? Or who maketh the dumb or the deaf, right? Or the seeing or the blind? Have not I the Lord? Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth, and teach thee what thou shalt say, right? So you got to understand that the Lord is going to be with you in everything you do, everything you say, everything that is put forth. The knowledge, the wisdom, and understanding is from the Lord, right? It's not of man. You have to have that courage to know that the Lord is going to be there, man, and give you and equip you with that knowledge. The Lord is not just going to send you out there. He's not going to call you and send you out to a people and you don't understand anything. You don't have no knowledge. You have nothing. You just going to go out there and just go talk. No. The Lord said, who has made man's mouth, man? Right? The Lord did that. The Lord gave you the mouth to speak, right? He gave you the knowledge in your mind what you should speak. Everything comes from the Lord, and you have to understand that first and foremost if you're going to go out, right, and do any type of teaching, right? Check this out, right? This is the book of Proverbs. Let's get a precept on that. This is the book of Proverbs, right? Chapter 16 and verse number 1. It says, the preparations of the heart in man, and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. Right? The preparations of the heart is of the Lord, meaning your mind. He gives those thoughts to what he wants you to speak about. He gives you the knowledge, right, that and that wisdom, right, that living water, the spirit, what to go out and speak about, man. What are you going to go into today? What you should study. Things of that nature, man. The preparation of the mind is of the Lord. And it says, and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord, man. The answer of the tongue is of the Lord. He's the one that's going to give you the knowledge that's going to come out your mouth, man. Because it's not your own words. It's the knowledge of the Most High. And it says, all the ways of man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the spirit, man. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established, man. Right? So the Lord sees your sincere spirit, man, and your work ethic, your diligence. The Lord is going to look. He's going to give you what you need, man. He's going to give you the tools to go out and work with, to build. Right? That's the encouragement you need to have, is to know that the Lord is going to be there with you at every point, man, that you will not be confounded. Right? Because the wisdom of the Lord is unmeasured, man. It's right, it's infinite. And the Lord is just going to give you what you need to say and what you need to harp on at that time. You don't have to go super deep in certain things or whatever. The Lord is going to give you what you need to know. All right? Everybody's not going to be on that same level. You cannot, so-called have a measuring stick of what you should know because the next man knows this or that next man knows this. Everybody's going to be on a different level. There's not a same level of knowledge given to every man. Every man is given to the quarter of the gift of the Lord. The wisdom that is given to each man is the measure of the wisdom that comes from the Lord, brother, right? So let's get another precept real quick. Classic. Right, this is the book of Proverbs, right, chapter 3 and verse number 5. It says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths, man. The Lord is going to be the one that's going to give you the direction, right, of what you need to say, the right equipment that you need in order to build on that foundation, man. Right? So you don't need to measure yourself or to be like anybody else. Right? The courage you need to have is in the Lord, right? To lean on him, to know that, hey, guess what? He's going to guide you in that path that you need to be. And the Lord is going to be ultimately with you, right, when you're speaking. Because, me, for instance, just a quick testimony. When I first came into the truth, I was asked, what do you think you can do for this truth? What position or what would you like to do in this truth, brother? And I simply told the brother, I wanted to be a mighty reader, right? Because I used to have dreams of actually, being on the harbor with brothers, man, and actually standing there reading mighty, man, or elsewhere reading mighty. That's what my mindset was on. That's all I thought that I could do. I never thought that, hey, man, I can go out and teach, and wake up anybody. I thought that, look, I can just stand in my position and be a reader, hey, and let the work go out, and let the word go out with the other brothers. Let them handle that. But guess what? As time went on, there were brothers before me, right? And then next thing you know, brothers start falling by the wayside, right? Brothers start falling off, man. Before I even was able to meet the brothers, right, coming in, brothers start falling away. And eventually, I was the last man standing. Then next thing you know, it came the time for me to step up and become that leader of the so-called camp, right, in the area that I'm in. The Lord made it to where I had to step up to another level and learn how to step out of my comfort zone to know how to go forth and tap into another lost for words, but into another talent, so-called, you know, that I did not know I had, man. That me and myself knew that I couldn't do. Because I was the type of brother that even in high school, whatever, if I had to stand in front of a crowd and do a presentation or something like that, I'm sweating to death. I'm dang near about to pass out, man. I don't know what's going on. Don't know what to do. But I leaned on the Lord and I trust the Lord to guide me wherever I needed to go, right? And the Lord gave me the courage to step up and fall into that office, right? And to be able to go out and talk and teach to people. Because me, myself, still to this day, as a man, I don't feel like I'm the most elegant speaker. Even when I do videos and I try to elaborate certain things or, you know, just try to teach the people, man, that watch the videos, sometimes I feel like, you know, I deal with feeling like I didn't bring that out good enough, or maybe I could have did a little better or made that a little clearer for maybe they understood a little more. You know, I still kind of fight with those things, right? But nevertheless, I leave it up to the Lord that the wisdom that he gave me at the moment and the message he gave me to bring out, that I presented it the best way possible that the Lord wanted me to bring it out that way. So, you know, I just do it to the best of my ability and, you know, hope for the best. You know, hope that the message went out, you know, and the people receive it, right? But let me get this precept real quick. Let's go to the book of Joshua, all right? To the book of Joshua, chapter 1 and verse 9, and it reads, "Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest." Right? So you have to have that in your mind, man, to embed that in your spirit that, look, you cannot be afraid. You know, you have to have courage that and know that the Lord actually has your back, that the Lord is actually going to give you the answer, the things what you should say, right? You have to have that courage, because it doesn't matter the ability that you have, the Lord can increase that, right? He can give you, he can use anybody. Like I said, he used Moses. Moses felt like he wasn't an elegant speaker. He was slow to speech. He used Moses. He used King David as a young man, as a teenager, to go out and slay a giant, man, and become a great king, man. You know, the Lord can use whoever he wants, man, to do whatever he wants. The Lord wills that. Just like Proverbs 21 tells you, the heart of the man is in the hands of the Lord. He turneth it whithersoever he will. The Lord controls everything. He controls the world with the palm of his hand, right? We're so-called, what you would call a conduit. The Lord puts the spirit on man to do what he wants to do. There's no, there's nobody on this earth. We're just dust and ashes. There's nobody out here that does their own will. They cannot resist the will of the Father. The Father does everything, right? He sets up men and brings down men, right? Let me get this real quick in Jeremiah, real quick, right? This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1 and verse 5. And it reads, and it reads, "Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So before, Jeremiah was even created, or any one of you brothers, man, that was even formed in the belly, in your mother's womb, the Lord ordained you to be what you are, right? So you need to fall into that office and take heed to what the Lord has given and try your best to step up to the plate. There's no such thing as not having the ability to do it, because the Lord is what pushes you to do that. He's the one that gives you the courage. Some brothers don't have much knowledge as other brothers, but with the right amount of diligence and hard work and study and trusting in the Most High, He can do whatever He wants to do with you, man. Right, let me get this precept real quick in the Sirach. Right, let's go to Sirach chapter 11. Right, this is the book of Sirach. It's lucky, man. Sleeping under that fan got me a little under the weather. Right, so this is the book of Sirach, chapter 11 and verse number 12, and it reads, Again, there is another that is slow and have need of help, wanting ability and full of poverty. Yet the eye of the Lord looketh upon him for good, and set him up from his low estate. Right? See that? So there's brothers out there that have low self-esteem and not much courage to go out, or much wisdom to do these things, but they desire that good work to teach. Right? They desire to want to be in that office to wake up their people. They have that unction of the Lord. They want to do that. So the Lord sees the desire and the ability and the effort that they're putting forth to try to get to that level, man. Hey, and He sets them up from their lower state, and He gives them that ability to do so. Right? The Lord can do that, man. The Lord can do anything, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is the one that maketh rich and He maketh poor. Right? Lifted up the beggar from the dunghill. The Lord does that. Right, let me read. I'm going to keep going. Let me jump down to verse 21. And it reads, Marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord, and abide in thy labor. For it is an easy thing in the sight of the Lord on the sudden to make a poor man rich. You see that? The Lord can snap His fingers, man, and make a man sitting on the corner for 30 years, not having a job, trying to find food to eat every day out the garbage or whatever it is, man. And all of a sudden make that poor man rich, man. Give him the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, and build that man up to become a prince and a king on the earth, man. Right? And it says, the blessing of the Lord is in the reward of the godly, and suddenly He maketh His blessing to flourish, man. The Lord, hey, man, everything is in the hands of the Lord, man. You know, everything is in the hands of the Lord. That's why you always got to say, Lord willing, or, give the Most High credit, right, for everything that happens, because it's not of the will of man, but of Him that willeth, man. Anything. This is His show, right? But understanding that you are just earth and ashes, and right, and desiring that office, know that if you are built up to the point to where you can do so and gain the wisdom, and you are brought from a lower state and you begin to do things like that, you cannot begin to think highly of yourself. The thing that I pray for most, in that office that I've been put in, and just in my day-to-day walk, man, is to remain humble. Lord, keep me humble, that I will not overstep my bounds and think I'm more than what I am. Even with the little minute knowledge that I have, allow me to stay in that position to be humble. Even if you build me up and give me more, allow me to stay humble. Even Paul did that, man. Paul had to have, Paul was on a high level, man. But, the Lord put that spirit on him, man, to keep him humble. unless he exalts himself above, measure, paraphrasing. And that's what I pray, that the Lord allows me to, be humble as a man and know that it's nothing that I've done. Everything is of the Lord. Because when certain brothers begin to gain some type of knowledge, they begin to, boast about it or puff it up. That's what the Lord says, knowledge puffeth up. Right? Matter of fact, let me get that. It's 1 Corinthians. Right? 1 Corinthians chapter 8. And I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, now as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth, man. Knowledge is going to puff up a man. That's why you see a lot of people around here, they got some type of wisdom, and a lot of it is worldly wisdom, man. Some worldly madness that, people think they know something. You know what I'm saying? And they walking around, puffed up and chest out and things of that nature, man. And they looking down on certain people because they don't know what they know. Right? So you got to be careful to not be puffed up in knowledge and think you something more than what you are, man. Right? Reading on verse 2, it says, and if any man think that he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing, yet as he ought to know, man. So essentially, we all know nothing, man. We don't know nothing. It don't matter who your favorite teacher is, right? Or whoever you like to watch in this truth and the videos or whatever it is, man, you learn from. We all are just earth and ashes, man. We're nothing. We're all earth and ashes, man. All honor and glory goes to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. Right? The knowledge that we obtain is nothing but mercy from the Lord, man. And that's all it is. And you can obtain that knowledge as well. If you put forth the effort to be diligent to do so, and you pray about it, and the Lord see fit to give you that wisdom, hey, the Lord can lift you up as well, man, and have you out here prophesying and shaking the hand and waking up Israel, man. And you want, like it says, charity edifieth, man. That's the main goal, charity, to give back to your people, to give them the wisdom, the knowledge, to build them up, to love on your people. Right? That's charity. Charity's not always just giving money and things of that nature. Teaching your fellow brethren or your sister and bringing them up from a lower state, from being a so-called Negro or black man or woman to becoming a king and a princess on the earth, an Israelite, giving them back that their true nationality, right? Their heritage, their bloodline. That's charity. And that is what edifies, man. And that's what your heart truly needs to be about, is that sincere work ethic and wanting to be in that office and actually really wanting to have that. That's why you don't want to just acquire knowledge just to right? You want it to give back to the people, to desire the spiritual gifts, right? Matter of fact, let's get this. Let's stay right. 1 Corinthians chapter 14. And verse 1, it says, follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy, right? So you want to desire those spiritual gifts to teach or whatever it is, but to prophesy. You want to do those things to teach the people, to prophesy the downfall of this place, man, to shake their hand, to wake up, the lost sheep of the house of Israel, man, for charity, for the love of your people. You want to do it for all the right things, not just to be known of the world, of Israel, and being the most mighty teacher or whatever, or to gain money for lucre's sake, filthy lucre's sake, or anything, to gain women or whatever. For charity, man. Desire that spiritual gift to give back to your people, right? That's what you want to do, right? This is what you should be praying for, to be able to do so. But like I said, don't be discouraged if you're not on that level to be a teacher. It's good for you to desire to do so, But if you're not able to be in that office, you desire that spiritual gift of something else, a talent that you have, and ask the Lord to magnify that. Use that to wake up the people. Teaching out, the Bible to the people is not the only teaching, man. You could teach Israel how to manage their finances, man. Or if you're a good gardener or whatever, if you know how to plant a garden or whatever it is, you can teach your people to do that too, right? Teaching is not just with, going out and teaching the scriptures. There's a lot of methods of teaching. Even if you just have the knowledge to go and teach your household, your family, and things of that nature, build up your family, right? Just desire to be a teacher, man. Just to have that desire to do so. That's a beautiful office to have. But everybody's not going to be on that level, right? Because this is called a body, and a body needs certain limbs and things like that to function completely, to be perfectly functioning, right? So you need what? Hands, fingers, eyes, nose, all these things to be a fully functioning body, right? Matter of fact, let's get that in 1 Corinthians, man. I'm already here. 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 14. Check this out. It says, "For the body is not one member, but many. If the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, am I not of the body? Is therefore not of the body? And if the ear shall say, because I am not the eye, am I not of the body? Is it therefore not of the body? If the whole body were an eye, where the hearing? So where's the ears have place? If the whole body is an eye, what place does the ear have, right? Where are the smelling? But now have Yahweh set the members, every one of them in the body, has it have pleased him." Because it all essentially is to please the Most High. And it says, "And if they were all one member, where were the body? But now are they many members, yet but one body." Right? So everybody is not on the same level. Everybody doesn't have the same talent, nor have the same office, but yet they are all one body, man. Everything gels perfectly together in the perfect use what the Most High has you to, be used for. Right? To what? Edify the people, wake up his lost sheep, build the kingdom of Yahweh. That's essentially what it is. So whatever level or office you desire, teach in that level. Teach in that office. It is a mighty desire to go out and shake the hand on the highways and byways, but everybody's not on that level. But if you desire to be in that, have the courage to step up and be out of your comfort zone and do so. But never be discouraged if you're not up to that level to do that. Maybe you can teach on the streets, walking around trying to teach your family or your friends or whatever, just breaking down simple things to them, right? Desiring that office of a teacher is a mighty work, man. But everybody has that different office to do certain things. But whatever office you land in, use utilize that teaching method that you have to magnify that office. Right? Check this out. Let's get Ephesians real quick. Ephesians chapter, Ephesians chapter 4. And I'm going to start at verse 10, and it reads, "He that descended is the same also that hath ascended up from above all heavens, and he might fill all things. And he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors, and teachers." Right? But check this out. This is the point. "For the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach. So all these offices you can teach in, right? But nevertheless, it's all for the perfection of the saints, man. To edify the whole body of Hamashiach, man. Right? So if you desire that, just know that if you step up to that level, you have to stand in that thing. You cannot divert from that. If you ever reach that level, understand that it's a heavy yoke laid upon you that is a much required of you in that office. So you have to really think about what you're doing and what you're wanting, right? If you're asking to literally be a teacher, because you're held to a different standard as well, because you don't want to just have quasi knowledge, you know, and worldly knowledge and just be teaching anything to the people. You want to make sure you have the living water, the teaching of the Most High, because you're held to a different standard than others when you jump into that office, right? Because what does the Lord say? Too much is given. Matter of fact, let me get that. Luke chapter. Is that Luke chapter 12? What is that? Luke chapter 12 and verse number 47. And it reads, "And that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. But he that knew it not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required. And to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more." Right? So if you come up into that office, hey, you know, you're held to a different standard. You've been given much. You've been given the wisdom, knowledge, understanding of the Lord. Now you have to stand in that office. You're required to teach. You may be required to give certain counsel, right? Things of that nature, man. You are in the public eye now, right? More things are going to be required of you. And if you know to do the Lord's will and you don't do it, then your judgment is going to be worse, man. Right? You'll be beaten with many stripes. That's what that means, man. Your judgment is going to be worse than somebody that really didn't have or was ignorant to the point, right? But they still sinning or going off or whatever. Yeah, they still going to be punished, things of that nature. But it's going to be required more of you, because that's blood on your hands if you're not doing the work. If you're not standing in your office and teaching correctly, or you know, waking up the people, or using that knowledge that was given to you, right? That's why I said, he that knew the Lord's will and didn't do it, you're going to be beaten with many stripes, man. So if you sitting on some knowledge, hey, and you have the ability, get up and go teach. Let your light shine before man. You don't light a candle and put it on the bushel, man. You go out and profess the name of the Lord, right? And just know that if you desire that office, man, much more is required of you. Right, let me get this last one in the book of James, right? Right, so y'all gotta, you know, if you desire this thing, man, you gotta know. Hey, this is real work right here, man. This ain't this ain't no play right here, what they say in the world. This ain't for play, right? This is the book of James, chapter 3 and verse 1. It says, "My brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation," man. So, man, hey, if you desire to be a teacher, stand in that. But if you just doing it to receive clout and money, women, whatever it is, man, hey, look, it says, "My brethren, be not many masters," or teachers, "knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation." So, hey, the Lord's judgment is going to come down harder on you if you out here not sincere and playing. And it says, "For in many things we offend all. If any man offend not in word The same is a perfect man, and able also to bridle the whole body, right? Behold, we put in bits in the horses' mouths, and they may obey us, and we turn about their whole body. So you have the ability to make somebody go left by teaching them something wicked, wrong, something to do, something false. You can cause them to fall off, right? Or if you teaching the perfection of the wisdom of the Most High, you can build them up and bring them out of the dunghill and set them among princes, princesses, and kings, rulers, right? Guide them to the kingdom. But you also have the ability to lead them to death, like these pastors and things like that. Well, that's like the Lord saying, the blind leadeth the blind. They both fall into a ditch.